welcome back to the channel and for watching these videos as always. Today you join me at night here on the boat, and the reason I'm doing that is because we are going to have another ray day tomorrow, but the high tide is at 3:30 in the morning and there's a hump of mud just outside here. So if I tried to get down here for 4:30 in the morning, I would probably struggle to get over it as the tide started going out. It's something that's got to be sorted out once my boat's out for the winter. So I'm staying on the boat tonight so that I can wake up early, get the boat out and take it down that way, down the marina. That way is out the marina. I'm going to take it that way down to the marina to a floating pontoon so that my wife and son can meet me there when they do get up here, because I'll be in a bit more water. So tonight it's about unpacking everything ready for tomorrow, and yeah, getting up early in the morning. So I've already got additional fenders ready to be chucked overboard tomorrow, but maybe one thing you haven't all seen is we've got all the lights on actually in here. It's actually quite a nice place to be. Got all the pads in there, they'll go on tomorrow obviously. Just pull it across. So I think it's quite nice here actually, nice and bright. So just going to finish unpacking, getting things ready for tomorrow, and then we'll go and try and get this stuff done for tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set you up tonight here, so that tomorrow morning it will be dark. You may struggle to see me, but then you'll see me helming the boat from here, doing it single-handedly. First time I've done that on this boat or even on my other boat, to try and moor it up on that floating pontoon. So I'll take you with me. Let's see how it goes tomorrow. Good morning. It is now 3:30 in the morning. I've just got one light keeping me on now, so I'm just going to put the lights on. Sorry about that. I just noticed that I was creeping forward. So yeah, so I've just put the stern line on because I was moving forward slightly with the wind, so I'm just going to take the bow line off now. Stern line's on, and I'll just take us out very slowly. Just need to put my outside lights on. Just double check all that's on. Lights are on. Bow lights. Stern line off and we can move. At this point I've sped up the video just to stop boring you, but you can see there's lots of wheel movements and on and off the throttle just because the wind is starting to pick up in the early hours of the morning and it's pitch black. I can literally see nothing outside at all, so I'm having to stand outside of the door and see where I'm going. There's surprisingly very few lights on in the marina. So I've just reached the slipway where I need to turn in order to get to the floating mooring, and so you'll start seeing me doing very small adjustments on and off the throttle. In fact, there's so little light, I've actually turned off the interior lights to give me a better chance of seeing, but I still couldn't see anything out the screen, so I'm going to have to hang out the door, and ultimately I'm doing this so I can get as much visibility as possible so that I don't smash into the floating mooring and damage the mooring or my boat. And as you can see, there's lots of wheel inputs required, and again on and off the throttles because the wind and the tide are trying to push me where I don't really want to be going. And in order to show just how dark it is and how little light there is, you can just see the clubhouse lights in front of my chest there. Again, not very illuminating at all. So it is now, bear 1 second, (4:30) in the morning. You can see that sunset is just starting, and here is the floating pontoon. I'm not sure if you can quite see it here in this light that I'm moored up against. And what I'm waiting for is to see some lights come over that slipway just there. And these, my wife and son are turning up, and my brother-in-law's boat is just down here, and we'll be going out with him as well. But I've got the seat pads on. Finally able to get the bottom zip on that done up. It's such a pain. But I've got to take that fender back to my boat, or to my neighbour's boat, because when I go out I put that on the back of it, so as I'm coming in, if there's any chance I'm going to go near his boat, it gives me a nice little cushion.
Go the other way. Boys in their toys.
At this point I realised that the tide and the wind will push me away from the boat a lot quicker than I was expecting, so my brother-in-law decided, once he'd had his fun creating the waves to get me a bit wetter and colder, he gave me a tow, and we went round the boat behind us and went all the way past us so that I could just elegantly float back to the boat. But you can see just how quickly I've drifted away. So I've done a bit of paddle boarding. My brother-in-law's used his little rib. We went out for a blast out in the channel over towards Queensborough over there, and now we're just dragging us slightly beyond the catamaran, having our lunch. Lovely down the water. That's our friend Mike, I'm him just down there, Charlie, with his sea line. I think it's a 45 fire bridge, but it's blowing up a bit now, as you can see from the sea stain. If I do it this way, maybe you can see it better. So we've got approximately about another hour or so before we can get into our marina just over there. But despite the early start, it's been a good day. Although my wife, just out of camera there, hasn't had any sleep, so she's shattered. So we have got back, we moored it successfully. I got in a third of a metre below us. It's all in nicely, and now we're just doing clean up mode. So that red dye's blew through, so I've cleaned this engine through. I'm just cleaning the port engine through. So those are a big first for me today, driving this boat at night and on my own, and putting it onto the floating pontoon, which you can see just where that boat's going past there, that big white boat to the left there. Mooring it on my own, and then going out at dusk to go out into the Ray over there where we spent the day, and then we've went out for a cruise later on in the day, left the catamaran moored up, done some paddle boarding. So it's been a very, very good day. A long day, but a good day. So that's it for the time being. Hope you enjoy this video. It's a big first for me today, so I'm pleased as punch. Until next time, take care. Bye bye.